endaweni yami sonke isono sami sikude nami njengenhlukano yangomalanga netshona la sikutele ushilonja akanamanga ngithemba kuye ngimbonga nje nalenjabulo esenginayo ngingeyaphuthwe umuntu cha noma ngihlezi ngisindla ngayo imiyalo yakhe ngabe nzima na uhlala kimi ngihlala kuye nowe sebenzela kosinike aphathwe nguye uyanqobe zonke izithanya yebo-ke nawe yebo-ke nawe yebo-ke nawe ongakakholwa uyabise uyabise enhlanhleni la lo musonga sewungawuthola wanele
Thobela 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 re gopela makhanselara ka moka ba thome ka this on the right hand side ya ka o thoma ka row number 3 2 and 1 re gopela setšhaba ka moka se ka kwa morao ditulo tša ka morao re a gopela makhanselara row number 3 2 and 1 makhanselara ka moka
Thobela. Bo minister ba tsena ke kgopela re emele. Re sa eme bjale. DJ o na le Nkosi Sikelele ke kgopela le talk. Yona. O sa ilukisha. Okay. DJ, can you play something? Lor ba ka kgona ho binanyana. Yeah, we're still waiting for
teach you how we dance for this song.
tseba le taba tša go ka. Ke a leboa. Ntumeleleng ke tše sebaka se ke lo tšheba ka mošate wa ga Manthata, ke lo tšhe bo Minister Stella Ndabeni Abrahams, ke lo tšhe bo Mayara His Worship Councillor Masilu Edward Paya, ke lo tšhe bo Madam Speaker Councillor Dikeledi Matlou, ke lo tšhe mantona ka moka a mmogo le bakgomana ba ka mošate, ke lo tšhe makhanselara ba ba leng gona mo, ke lo tšhe all the officials from the department, ke be ke lo tšhe the SMMEs tša rena, baeng ba rena from Ward 1 to Ward 16. Ntumeleleng ke tše sebaka se ke le lo tšhe, ke re kgotswabeleleng. Nke le bethele bo Minister matsogo ya ba tlile mo masepaleng wa rena. Botsebotse ba le rata, ba boya for the second time. Mole ba ya rata, re ba promisitše le ba nyakela stand. No, thanks. Re feditše ka national anthem. E reng ke tše sebaka se ke re, ge re yo betha matsogo, re tla ba re emeletša bontona Monyemorato, ba tla ba re amoele. A re ba bethelene matsogo, ntona Monyemorato. Re tlo ba bethela matsogo fihlela ba ema ka mo pele.
Travelers Chava says Ratahan come Casona carry Telebuzina. Mo but Varana by Varna Vati Monase, who will about where we are rarely journalists Pilavosi. Kelebo Hakamuka by Listin Mishma one Chachi, what was a village. Vialo Naki image Vamusata Bamuhodi Manthata. Vamusata Varnavaho, Navarro Mimratu. Quella pelle untiele se storia san se che si dia na ne bialo pare che le bojore le amohetswe hai halena ke a lebo.
Thank you. Matso, arba betheleng matso o fihlela ba dula fase. Ba mosate ba aba rata ba ka re ko ba. Re a leboa ba mošate, and then ke go na le item engwe e gomo mara ke try ke tlo no e dira gore o bona le gore nna re na le bomang mo. Ke tlo kgopela ba mošate mo ba ditšeng gona ba emiše matsogo, re ba bethele matsogo, le no emiša matsogo ba mošate ba emelele. Mantona ba kgoma, ya, a re ba bethelene matsogo. Makhanselara aba emelele. Makhanselara ba emelele. Yeah. And then the officials jamole municipality abale gona ba emelele, all the officials. Yeah, ba bang ba ka kwa ntle ka. Okay. And then the officials from our from all the departments, all the officials from all our departments, leader, yeah, and then all SMMEs, Baba Lengona Mo, our MLA. Yeah. And then all the ward committees that are here, you can also stand up. All the ward committees. Yeah, thanks. Ke a leboha. Ntumeleleng ke tše sebaka se, re bethe matsoho, re tla ba re emeletša one of our own, His Worship Councillor Masilu Edward Baya. Ba tla ba re fa welcome address.
Chief Whip ya Masipala, Councillor Masilo Rata, Erikitse Swagase, wala Michael, Erikitse Swagase ko leboge mongaka, go mpa Swagase, go fa a welcome address. His Grace, the Right Reverend Dr. B. Khanyan and all the representatives from the churches, pastors present in this hall, Honorable Mr. Landaveni Abrahams, the Minister of Small Business Development, representatives from agencies of the department, both from national and the province, Madam Speaker of the Municipality, Councillor Mato, Chief Whip and the Program Director of the day, Councillor Masilo Rata, the host ward councillor, Councillor Ngoveni, members of the Executive Committee present in this hall, fellow councillors present here today, Mushato wa Geshu, Mushato wa Manthata, ye e le goreng bo kgoši ka sebele ba gona mo le mantona a bona. Pele ke tšwela pele ke tlo kgopela gore re due bethela taba e matswe a re bo kgoši ba gona mo. O ka re a se lenkwe gabotse ke re bethele bo kgoši matsoho a bo kgoši a ka se tshwane le ya mmeyara goba a khanselara. A bo kgoši a tla kwagala gore re na le data ya wa betha. A re betheleng bo kgoši matsoho. Ke a leboga. Kgoši ya ka ke kwa ke leboga kudu ge re ba le di-activity letla ka bolena. Today the minister will be very much impressed that she's sitting next to Kgoši. Because sometimes when we go to events, Minister, Magoshi are delegating. So when the Kgoši is there himself, is giving us the strength that I'm with you in everything that you're doing. And as government, we are really pleased. Thank you very much, Kgoši le mantona a lena. Representatives from business sectors, representatives from our sister government institutions, distinguished guests from various organizations, members of security cluster present here, media houses, bo maditaba le bo raditaba ba ka bang ba le gona mo. E reng ke tše sebaka se ke le dumedišeng ke re kgotso ya beleleng. Kgotso ya beleleng. I'm not sure ke tshwanetse gore ke bolele gantši gore ke tšwa botse TV. O ka re na le TV pleke mo. So e ke bolela le fetolo gore ba kwe batho ba lebeletse gore re ya kwana. A ke re ya kwana pleke mo. Kgotso ya beleleng. The National Development Plan, which is known as NDP, is a long-term national plan that provides an overarching roadmap that the country aspires to achieve in 2030. The NDP provides a framework from achieving socio-economic agenda, pursuing rapid economic growth and job creation. Especially the National Development Plan highlights the following key proposals to support small business development: to promote stronger buyer-supplier relations and deeper localization, implement commitments to 30-day payments to smaller suppliers, make government procurement opportunities more accessible to small businesses, improve transparency and get rid of corruption. Simplify the regularity of environment, examine a role for the state in easing access to finance by startups and emerging businesses. Provide skills development for students currently in school with a focus on grooming entrepreneurship attitude. As Mulemule Municipality, we are committed to work with all stakeholders, public and private, to ensure successful realization of the above proposals. We believe these proposals are key to sustainable local economic development in general and upscaling of local businesses in particular. Mulemule local municipality takes cognizance of the fact that the SMMEs are stimulants of the economic growth as they create employment opportunities and reduce poverty levels amongst the local communities. In light of the above, we are very much pleased to host the Department of Business Development and all its agencies for the second time this year. A round of applause. I'm saying a round of applause because the minister was here and she's here today. And she was a bit worried when we were saying, let small businesses stand up. When she was counting, it was like 7. Then I promised her that when I take stage, I will repeat this. Obviously, there will be more than 7. Agree, we are here for small businesses to try and unlock the opportunities for them to prosper. And it's not only any other person who is here, it's the minister herself. So she wants to see for herself as to whether we are serious about business as Mulemun. Can the SMMEs reps stand up once more so that the minister can see how many you are in this hall? No, stand up. She's still counting. She's still counting. I can see she's still counting. No, Emela Momoral, Skala Michel Topa, Emela. That's right. Let Arvola say Emele, Bagaselbone. You see, it's not 7, Minister. Thanks very much. Legal Lafas. The reason why I'm saying Emele Lang is because the minister is here for you. You are the beneficiary of this program. So you must be here, listen, interact with the minister, so that when she leaves, she must be knowing that she has interacted with the people of Mulemule business people, so that we make follow-ups with her as the municipality, while she knows or she has seen the owners of the businesses in Mulemule. They are around here, don't worry. No. Thanks very much for attending. I think you are going to have a fruitful interaction with the minister today. Councillor Matomo Speaker, Yautisha Minister Rabed 2 times. Double. Yes. We are the first council Gamulemun. Yautisha Minister Rabed, not only the minister, Ritisha Minister of Business, small business. If you grow a small business, you will create opportunities, then we will be able to address the issue of joblessness. You will recall that the minister visited our municipality in this venue by January to present the various support programs to the small businesses. I've already alluded to this point. As Mulemule, we will indeed support any initiative or intervention that seeks to assist our SMME sectors because of the important economic role that they play towards our development as the municipality. We are particularly glad that one of the key focus of the Roadshow is to support informal businesses. This, we are hopeful, will ultimately ensure that they have the requisite skills and infrastructure to help them mitigate into fully fledged formal businesses. We particularly encourage youth to take advantage of this program to pursue entrepreneurship and reduce the high unemployment facing the youth in our municipality. As the municipality, we also make sure that we support the SMMEs through our procurement from the business owned by the locals, particularly the youth and women-owned businesses. We are currently working with the Department of Economic Development in the province to have business registration within our municipalities to reduce the burden of setting up businesses for new entrants to the SMME sectors. Small businesses face many challenges, and as a result of operations, the main challenge include the following: competitiveness. Small businesses compete with big businesses for market share. Big businesses has a luxury to reduce prices, while small businesses cannot afford to do that as they don't have bargaining power. There is a proof the competitiveness of the small businesses, which will then ensure their sustainability and profitability. Access to market. Small businesses need to increase access to local as well as their business linkages with other small businesses elsewhere. Access to finance. The conditions for funding is another inhibiting factor, as most of these small businesses do not have credible security. Compliance issues. Small businesses need to comply with many legal and regulations requirements, including labor laws, tax regulations, municipal bylaws, health and safety regulations, and consumer protections laws. This puts compliance burden on these small businesses, and a special regulatory framework is necessary to reduce this burden. We hope that this roadshow will go a long way of minimizing the effects and impact of the above challenges and create conducive environment for our local businesses sector. In conclusion, I wish everyone present here today all the best and hope that we can have a fruitful and meaningful engagement with our Honorable Minister. Program Director, thank you very much.
Matso. Thanks. Yeah, ke a bona. A ke re problem matso a rena matšatši a na le go šoma ka di-data. O khumana ke re matso a wanted di-data di sena le problem. Di šetše ka 1 bar. Can we check or in this hall if maybe there is any Wi-Fi? Ke nyaka go kwa matso. Matso re bethele mmera wa rena. Yeah. Yeah, there is Wi-Fi in this hall. Thanks for that. Re bitša batho ba di business re ba bea poleke ya go ba le Wi-Fi, because we know the business is busy moving, even if when we're seated here. Okay. We are purpose of engagement. We're having Department of Small Business Development, Mr. Nokomanyelo. Let us clap hands for Mr. Nokomanyelo. Round of applause. Sorry. Matso vitala ba emam.
Halala mule mule halala. Halala mule mule halala. Madume o ba ka mošate ba etile pele ke kgoši Manthata le mantona a bona ka moka. Madume a ya go ministera wa rena Mme Stella Ndabeni Abrams le mme ya ra wa rena o mo ratang kudu-kudu Honorable Paya. Ke dumedise le speakera Chief Whip wa Yesu a mmo le makhansela ka moka le hona nase le ba department tše dingwe. Ke tlo apa ka stokwa ka ba ka pala ka sekgowa le a ntumelela. Nna ke nna Nokomanyelo ke tha lefapheng la borakgwebo potana le tlwaeleile ka gore ke Department of Small Business Development. Ke rumile ke ministera gore ke le botse gore na re tetšene mo NAS. Taba kgolo ke gore bo ministera ba rile ba fitlha kwa departmenteng ba khumana gore mananeo a hona a o thusa borakgwebo, mara ba khumana gore dilo di phataletše ba re tlo di kgobokantšha, ba ta ka leina le lengwe la botsebotse ba re ke master plan. Bjalo lenaneo le ke lenaneo kgoparara la gore re thakantšhe mananeo a o thusa borakgwebo potana le bommagwebo ke ra bona ba ba di SMME le ba di cooperative. Bjalo bo ministera ba nama ba re aowa ntho e re ka se direte re tshwantse re ralalele naye ka moka re sepele province by province le NAS re kgonne go fitlha mo re tlo a palelela re apisana le lena o re lena dikakanyo tša lena di rene di mathata le thakanang le ona a rene di-opportunity le di bonang di rene o re dilo tša tšewe ka moka a tšona re kgone go di theeletša le go di tšea re kgone go di lokela ka moara master plan ye le gore bo ministera ba etile pele. Ke summarizer tša tšebe ke di apa ka sekgowa. All I'm saying is that as the Department of Small Business Development under the leadership and the stewardship of our Honorable Minister, Ms. Ndabeni Abrams, she actually came up with this plan, which is a grand plan, a master plan, to ensure that we do not just leave anyone behind as we move ahead in creating instruments that are aimed at supporting SMMEs and cooperatives. So the minister then identified this plan as an overarching policy that is going to assist not just the department but government holistically to ensure that we directly contribute to the GDP of this country by empowering and developing SMMEs and cooperatives. And we are now developing new instruments based on the inputs and initiatives and comments and challenges and experiences that we have gathered from SMMEs throughout the country. This is a nationwide program where the minister has been to almost 7 provinces. This is the 8th province. We still have 1 more province to go. So today we are going to have an opportunity to directly engage and interact with the minister as we seek to hear and to make sure that we do not leave anyone behind. I thank you.
Robolela, Yasabolel, the Kata 20 rand. Because Lord, the time also you will let minister Magrai FD. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Kia lawa kana nore kala na di SMMEs le lenaga le lukise diloji kia lawa arba bethelane matsobo Mr. Manyelo. We are also having message of support by South African Youth Council. Let us clap hands as we welcome one of our own, Mr. Tony Rashweni.
Ke a leboga Chief Whip Moswara Marapo wa letšatši ke boe gape ke tamiše setšhaba ka moka sa mo Mohodi ke buše gape ke tamiše ba ka Difokeng ba ka Mošate bokgoši Manthata bo ministera Mme Ndabeni Abrahams CEO ba SIDA ba gona mo Eastern Nkosikhona Mbatha, the HOD of Provincial Economic Development, Mr. Matotsi Ratumbu, one of our own progressive mayor of Mulemule Municipality, Ntate Masilu Edward Paya. Ki bontshe gore South African Youth Council mayor and the team were very happy. Re thabile kudu go ba le tlisitše mayor ramo, le tlisitše minister ramo, and it's for the second time. So we are very privileged to come here also as South African Youth Council to give message of support. We speak Arabamlemo, le medical lady, Lawana Baona Moral Tamisha, and also the Chief Whip, Luana Baonamo, all invited guests and members of the community. Keretameng Madumeshia Ojao South African Youth Council. Minister, as the umbrella body of all youth formations in the country, I'm here as the national organizer of South African Youth Council. One is that we as SAIC would like to welcome and appreciate this kind of roadshows, as they are very important because they give the communities an opportunity to interact with their leaders and government. Also, Minister, as you know, the issue of COVID-19 has deepened the issue of youth unemployment and poverty. And many small businesses as such has collapsed. So we're happy that you are here today in a rural municipality, in a rural province of Limpopo, to come and deal with those issues. We also want to assure you that the South African Youth Council, we support this move because our young people are always frustrated on the ground when coming to the issues of funding for their small businesses. Honorable Minister, the other burning issue that is of concern to us, and you know about it, is the issue of signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between ourselves as SAIC and your department. Because if that document can be signed, it is going to be very easy for us to deal with some of the issues. So this issue needs to be fast-tracked as a matter of urgency. Honorable Minister, allow me to also raise this important and frustrating issue that our young people are facing whenever they visit your Department of Small Business. The issue of applying for grants at your department. Young people with brilliant ideas come up with nice and brilliant proposals, submit them to your department, and instead of officials in your department to assist them accordingly, they steal those ideas and give them to their children, friends, relatives, and family members. The next day, you'll find your own idea being implemented by another person. And that is really hurting, and we need your urgent intervention on that and assistance in that regard. Minister, our major concern is that the well-being of young people of this country. We feel that government is not doing enough to invest in the young people and their skills. The government provides minimal assistance and support to frustrated young people of this country. Honorable Minister, as SAIC, we request the government, your department in particular, to ensure the following. One is that your funding requirements are made flexible so that they can be met by many of our young people. Please loosen, Minister. Loosen your requirements of applying for funding, because many of our young people are struggling in terms of meeting those requirements. We also say that, can you please provide more funding opportunities to small businesses? And not only that, also provide mentorship programs to help sustain the lifespan of those SMMEs. Don't just give them money and don't monitor them. We're appealing to your department that they must have that team that after they give Tony assistant as a small business, then they monitor that money, or where's that money going to? Honorable Minister, in conclusion, the young people are the future of this country. Let the government invest in its young people so that the economy of this country can grow now and in the future. Thanks very much.
Matso. DJ, lechanyana basoba ba rena ba winner bon. Ke a leboha ke maketše gore o ka rana business o se ya kgone ho binana a ka re batho ba tlile ka business no tshwanetse fela o ba entertaina ka o binanyana gore ba pele ba boile mara ke bone mosadi o mongwe ka kwa morao binne botse kudu o kgona go bona gore batho ba bangwe o ka se ba tloele le noka yao o ka kumana ba e thaditše ka o bina. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Then we are also going to have Mr. Ngoskona Mbata, the CEO of SIDA. Is the one who's going to facilitate the discussion. Can we clap hands for Mr. Mbata? Mr. Mbata, batla mo pele ka mo. O fitela ba fika ka pele. Matso.
sanibonani. Ninjani? Sanibonani. Ninjani? Awu ngoba niyasazi isiZulu pho banisolana. Ningizwa kahle nje. Akanami kade ngihleli phansi ngilalele ngiyabona ukuthi hayi hamba ngespeed. Sengithi ngizosukuma ke nami ngihambe ngesiZulu. Ngoba sonke angithi la eMzansi wonke ama languages siyawezwa angithi. So ngoba desihamba ke ispeed ngizawuhamba nje ngesiZulu. Sithemba ukuthi sizozwana. It's good to be here. I would like to just do the protocol matter. Ngithanda ukubingelela ngizosho nje ngesiZulu ngithanda ukubingelela ngokukhulu ukuhlonipha amakhosi akhona kule ndawo kanye nezinduna zawo ngibingelele uminister ngibingelele ngibingelele HOD ngibingelele mayor MMCs councillors akhona kule ndawo cha Tony ngiyakubingelela nawe sikuzwile angazi noma lento ifuna uzoyithola yini ngoba usuyimemezele kangaka kodwa hayi asithembe ukuthi hayi kuzohamba kahle. I think you have a very huge task emahlombe akho in terms of the youth development. It's a very important job and I believe there's a lot to do. I also believe in young people. I was youth not long ago. Don't be confused. I'm not youth anymore. But I was not so long ago. I won't tell you my age, but I still relate. And I also believe that the youth is a future. If we invest in youth, we invest in mentorship, we invest in businesses owned by the youth, at least we are guaranteed a better economy, at least for the next 40 years or so. But it starts now. Some of us may not be there then, but we know that those who will come after us will carry the flag. My name is indeed Capricon, and I am the acting CEO at CEDA. So young people, you can see that even in government, there are young people, and we are here to represent, to make sure that things are done and are planned for the future. I would do my session, my job is very small, but it's an important job. And for the 8th time, in terms of the province, but in terms of districts, you can multiply again the districts that we've been to. So I've seen SMMEs wasting the opportunity to shape the future. Ngoba sekuyimina okhulumayo sekune sound problem kulungile. I've seen SMMEs wasting the opportunity when the minister is in front of them. The SMMEs then talk about things that are outside the Department of Small Business Development. Things that when we live here, because when we live here, we go back and say, what is it that was raised in a particular municipality? So when we get back to Pretoria and all our places, we want to come back and say, what is it that the SMMEs in this area raised? What are the critical issues that were raised by the SMMEs? Now, these sessions, other districts or other municipalities, they turn it into to be a complaining session. Then when we go back and we read our notes, because there are people here who are taking the notes, we go back and study these videos in terms of what you said. Then when we go back, then we say, there was nothing that you really requested to be done in this municipality. All that happened was complaints. Now we can't come back and implement tangible things that will take SMMEs forward if the sessions turn out to be just complaining sessions. We need your contribution so that then we can change the status of this municipality as far as small businesses are concerned. And by saying small business, I'm talking about SMMEs, cooperatives, informal traders. So we need to change the status quo and sikwazi ukuthi enable to work and to do your businesses in a different and in a better way. So as we going to be listening to you, I saw that we don't have a lot of SMMEs here, but we'll take the SMMEs, we'll take the questions from the SMMEs, the cooperatives and informal traders, because these are as a Department of Small Business Development, that's where we concentrate. We want to make a change, we want to make a difference for the small businesses within this country, young and old. We don't have issues of age. So if you're a business owner, I'll ask you at some point to raise your hand, or if you're a startup business, you have some progressive issues that you want to tell the minister, so that the minister then can assist to change the way business is done in this area. I won't tell you what the people of Northwest asked for last week, but we had some very progressive, and we made commitments. The good thing is that our minister can make commitments here, you know, but not the commitments that says, I want 5 million, can you give me 5 million now? That's not the commitment that she's able to make. But the commitment in terms of an enabling environment for the businesses to work, so that then when you go and ask for 5 million, we are able to get that 5 million with ease from the government officials. And that is what we're looking for. And please, I was in Cape Town some weeks ago. I said the same thing, they disappointed me. And I'm here and I'm saying, I know. Mina ngiphume emakhaya. Ngiyabazi abantu basemakhaya. Angeke nize ningiphoxe today. Sizohlala endabeni, sikhulume. I'll give you, I'll look at the hands, then I'll conclude with how much time I'll give to each and every one of you. So ngikhuluma phakathi kwesiZulu ke nesingisi nizongixolela. Ngizozama nje ukuthi ningizwe nangesiZulu nangesingisi. But we'll do this session as quickly as possible, and please give us something to come back and implement in this area, because that's what we are about. Someone said, today is a difficult day, and tomorrow will be even more difficult. But the day after tomorrow will be a great day. Today is a difficult day. Tomorrow will even be more difficult. But a day after tomorrow will be a beautiful day. So we are here to make sure that while we're going through a difficult time as a country, from an economic point of view, from SMME access to everything that they need point of view, but there is a guarantee that the days will never be the same. And there will be a beautiful day after tomorrow being more difficult than today. And all we are saying is that we are here to make sure that we hold your hand during the difficult days as SMMEs, so that when the beautiful day comes, you are there. Your businesses have survived. Your businesses are well prepared to take advantages of the future that we are trying to build as a country, which is a future that will enable you as SMMEs to prosper and to move forward and to grow your businesses. Give us those things then that will enable us to hold you during these difficult days as we're gonna raise our hands, so that then when we go through this and on the other side, you can say that the Department of Small Business Development was here for us. And because of the issues that we raised and the suggestions that we raised, we are a better community, we are a better and a prosperous business people of this municipality. It's not a mistake that the minister is here. It's because she believes that we can change this municipality and the district. So I will then, with those few words, I just wanted to say that I will focus on the SMMEs. We saw them standing up. I want to focus on the SMMEs, the cooperatives, and the informal businesses to give us either their questions or their suggestions or areas of improvement that they would like to see, and to see the Department of Small Business dealing with and improving. So I'll do this row, which is this part of the room, and then I'll do the other part of the room. And can I see the hands from the SMMEs? If we have any questions, suggestions, issues that you want to raise with the minister on this side of the room, then I'll come to the other side of the room. Thank you. Any hands on this side? Okay, there's one hand from this side. All right, thank you, my brother. Any hand from this side on issues? I encourage you to speak to the minister. One, so you're number 2, you're number 3, 4, number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 hands in total. So we'll start with the gentleman there. You state your name and which company you're from, if you have a company already, and then you can raise your question, your issue, or suggestion that you would like to raise. I would give you 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes for you to be able to do that. Thank you. Please give him the power. Don't sabotage him. He's got something important to say. My brother, is it working now?
First of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. Ke rata ho dumedisha batho ka moka ka mo holong wa eme mo ke Maruti wa Raphiri wa tswana mo modi ya Manthata. Na ke rata ho dirang ke rata ho dira business ana mo modi ya Manthata. The thing e lo re encourage ke rata ho dira this thing is because of ke bona hore there are lack of the things in our community. There are workshops around this community, but then there is no an auto spares. And like last time, people of Cedar, when they came here, they gave us some protocols and posters whereby I come across the idea to come up with a business whereby I can open an auto space around here at Matipane. So I would like to be helped by Cedar to open that auto space so that I can make an improvement around my community and also create a job creation. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Just make sure that before you leave, you go to that table, ne? Name will join you, ne? Yeah. It's this side now. So number 2 is this side. This, no, here. There was number 2 here. Who's number 2? No, I'll get to you. I'll get to you. Ngizofika kuwena ma.
Ke a leboga sebaka se o mphileng sona. Nna ke nna George Manthata. Na le Arts and Culture project. It's a community-based project. This is my brainchild. Ki ile ka re he ke nahana nna mo ke tswang gona, my beginning. As you can see, I'm an old man. During our time, we didn't have career guidance. So I think it's a very big challenge here because we have got children who are leaving school, some are dropouts, some, they are not offered, they've got no wide choice of us. Now, the project is meant to help those that can work with their hands. So this project was established in 2008. Unfortunately, up to now, people are not just coming, like especially the youth. I started with old people, very courageous old ladies, in fact, no old men. They gradually left the project one by one until I remain alone. So the main thing is you ask yourself, what is it that really discourage people to come to work, to the project. From my experience is that at the project, people think when they come there, they'll find money. There is no money at the project. At the project, we make money. There is no money. So I don't know how can you, as a Department of Small Business, to give us a helping hand, a support, encouragement to the community, because I think we are lacking some funds. Something that can encourage and attract them to the project. We don't have. So maybe through this small business development, some kind of support, not necessarily money, whatever can boost the project. Because this was it's an culture project. It's so wide. There is such a lot of a variety of activities that we can do there. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Ke a leboa sebaka se le mphileng sona ebile ke tswa ke thuthumela ke tshuile be ke sa tshepe gore tšatši le lengwe nka bona ke ntšha sebe ke na le sona ka mafatlheng ya ka e le kgale se le hona ke se ntšha pele ya minister. Ke a leboa. Nna ke nnana ke di Susan Leshabana, founder of Thuto Temo ya Nagedi Farm. Tumo ye ke ben le yona ke thome ka tumo ka e kgwebo ya ka e le unique. Ke bona kgwebo ya ka ya farming ke farmer unique because ke actress ba bantse bane be ke le makoloi ko scheme sam. Ke farmer ke le actress kgwebo ya ka e unique mo e le hore ne ke nya go bona baswa ba e le hore ba nagana hore mebereko a e hona. Ke try ba bontšha gore lebala le hatane re ka dia something government ya re krea somewhere ebile re bontšha gore na le phisaelelo re lekile re fitlhile mo. Nna ke molemi yo le hore hona bjalo ke limile tapola MEC be ke rata ebile ke na le tumo ya hore tšatši le lengwe ho dieile le tele bona hore baswa kae ke bona ke sa le moswa le he le hore mengwa ya ka e setse e fitlhile 40 mara ke bona ke sa wela ka ra baswa le tele bona hore re hona re a gona o producer dilo tše le hore ne gale be re nagana hore di producer ke batho ba shweu. That's why ke re kgwebo ya ka unique ke ya farma ka ba ka di supplier ka rekisa. Farm ya ka ke entukwana ka stokwa re ke entukwana mara e dia tše di kgolo tše di botse. That's why na ke le bontšha hore ke limile le tsapane le ba le bitsane Mondalia la ba le low starch le le hore le good for the chips le mesh. Bjalo nna kgopelo ya ka ho minister be ke duma hore nka khumana thuso ho mmusho ka gona o cleana lebala hona bjalo ke na le lebala la o lekana 2 hectares le le hore ke palla ko le prepare hore ke gona o bjala mo e le hore ne nka tla ka gona hore baswa ba ka ba ke nana ka bona ba te ke tlo ba trainer ko lebaneng la ka ke try o create mebereko ebile hape ke se a create le baswa fela le lena ba media ke le create la mmereko da ka se wa ke re kgwebo ya ka kgwebo engwe ya o thakathakana ke le create la mmereko because ka mahara family ya ka ke shoota le di reality show tša farming ke shootile farming journey ya Thuto Temo ya Nakedi ke try o bitša baswa next to me gore re tshware le tšepe ka style ba le mo hore ne re a shoota ka mola ba ne nna ke ba ruta kgwebo e le hore ne batho ba shweu gale ba ditjuba na le yona ba rana ka yona mara ba sa kgone ho bona hore ke kgwebo rena re tseba le thabula no ke try o bontšha batho hore temo ha se le thabula ke kgwebo as he re hola e motho a le mabere no tseba hore o le ma le thabula o tlo fa batho. That's why Thuto Temo ya Nakedi e try o bontšha batho hore a re batameleng re shoota di reality show re shoot re lema ebile re ithuta le ka temo bjale mo minister Thuto kgopelo ya ka e le hore Thuto Temo ya Nakedi e kgopela gore o ka re di ka dieya ya kgona ho thusiwa ka masheleng mo e le gore baswa ba banana o ka re mebereko a eho ke te ke ba bontšhe gore re a tshwara letšepe ra bereka ra dia tšhelete ra ba ra fetša ra ba skoon ra acta ra shoota di-reality show tšeo e le ronto ba re shoota matsapane a rena re a lemilene re bontšha batho gore o dieya ene ka yone ke a leboa sebaka se.
Thank you. We'll just continue to take these questions. The minister will address, when she stands up to speak, she will address most of these. But also we've got our desk there. I guess also on the issues of training and everything, we'll then take those and make sure that you are supported and the people in the work that you are doing are also supported. So we'll make sure that the team there also takes the details. Thank you. But the minister will do an overall response, but definitely. Can I, so you number 4, so you number 5, ne? Yeah.
Thobela.
As I said, I'm taking SMMEs, informal traders, co-ops. Ngiyabona namakhansela. No, I'm not talking to namakhansela as well to say Funupams and Isand. Continue, Baba, not you. I'm talking about, yeah.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Minister, my name is Tsepo Ramutla. I'm from Shikasa Farming Supplies. Shikasa Farming Supplies, what we do is that we supply agricultural inputs to all the small farmers. So our challenge now with regards to the market, things went up to such an extent that we are struggling to actually supply all the villages around our areas. So our proposal that we did initially, I think it was last year, that we proposed to the small business department that we really want to start with our own manufacturing of feeds, animal feeds like chicken feeds and all the cattle and pig or all the animal feeds. But the issue was that we never got any response to the department. So I wanted to ask, my question was that if you do a proposal more than 3 times and you don't get any response, what steps should we take from our side? Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, can you go to the lady there, that side, colleagues? I gave everyone a number, so please don't allow anyone to take your number. May, please, can go ahead. Thank you.
Thobela, le kae? Nna ke nna Price P2Y Ltd. Nna mmereko wa ka ko o design o ruka dipeke, dikhete, diaparo, and a papi le ka o supply ka di-cleaning material le di-landscaping. Nna tumo ya ka be ke kgopela gore nka kry-a metšhini e mebedi e meraro ka kgona o ruta baswa ba borena o ruka ka gore a ne bjale kwa dikolone a ba sa ruka ande motho a tsebe gore nna le taka e tshwara bjane o ba tshwara bjane motšhini. So be ke tuma gore nka kry-a metšhini ka kgona o keepa batho youth ka ba ruta o diane o ruka ka re ane bjale ba bangwe ba kwa sekolong ba sa tsebe o ruka gore ba ka ruka bjane e ntho e kgeile ka kwa hae. Ke ntho e ke itumane gore nka kry-a metšhini, supply ya metšhini ka kgona o ruta batho ba le ba gorena o ruka ya go tshwana le di-industrial di-overlock.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you, ma. I'm sure it can't be a difficult task. I'm sure we can do something about that. I'm not bad, kasi bad. I'm not bad at all. Thank you. Question number 6. Please, colleagues, we had we asked people to raise, SMEs to raise their hands. So if we're on question number 6, it means we've got 4 more hands to go from the 10 that we got. But if we are still here in the first, so this is the thing again about SMMEs. When someone says here's an opportunity, as an SMME, the expectation that you grab the opportunity. So it's not about hearing other people asking questions, then you want to ask questions as well. It doesn't work like that. That's how in the industry, other people come in front of us and take things because we are late to respond. So you are the next person, please speak.
Tobela, Betty Kowe from Blueberg, from Betty Catering and Deco. Lenakina youth. Minister Ntwebeke Hopela gore on my company, le kgone re thusha ka equipment. Ke na le business ke started from 2017. Ke tried the NYDA, the only one ban thushitse. Ke na go ke sa thoma ban re ke di tent. So now ke khale di bereka so di senyeile. So nna ntho be ke khopela njwale be ke khopela gore ke di equipment tja di catering ke caterer like ke dira decoration. I have to go gore ke hire ready dilo so o charge batho then we will hire equipment ija commission ya hao. So and when it comes to transportation o khumana o nyaka na le transport you have to pay the transportation. So nna ntho be ke khopela ke funding. Thank you.
Can you please move? There were hands at the back. Now, I need you to move and respect me here, because if you don't follow what I say, we're going to have a problem. Ne? So I'm saying we're not taking hands that were not raised when we started. So can we stick to the hands that were raised when we started? Because we gave every SMME a chance to speak. Now you find a session where SMEs want to speak when they hear their colleagues speaking, and it can't work like that. So can we take this lady, then we move towards the back, because there were people whose hands were raised originally at the back, and we must prioritize those who raised their hands. Please, colleagues, work with me here. This lady here, and then we move to the back. Start with the second line at the back. Thank you.
Dendron. So, register le cooperative ka 2010. Yona ke babogadi cooperative. Cooperative ya rena ke dumela gore botse na kwe ba introduce the cooperative. We were never taught what kind of an animal that was brought to us. Ka baka la re bana re batho gobokanang ra no thagala ka re ba re batho gobokanang tšhelete yata. But we were never mentored on how to use those funds. And then even le re tlo nyaka dilo mo re berekelang ona pe auna metsi re na le float auna metsi. So sometimes we depended on rain or re kgone o produce lo tse re di nyakang. So iba boima re kgone o feletse le ngwe re ba baso. And o remember ke gale it's been more than 10 years. Nkebe lo re dilo di dia ka mo godisa di dia ka ona le ka mo government re promisang ka ona nkebe re ta gole e bile re improve batho ba ntshi bile re empower le ba bangwe ra feletse lo re o duma mura okay fine the other CKs ka baka la re cooperative e bena lo khumana re palola ka re le rena ka bo rena we were not able to understand the 7 principles of cooperatives and all those things. And le batho ba lengwe re ba botsisa di questions, they were not even able to give us answers. Bona mo rena ba no nyaka report. As long as banale those roll calls for them is just better. And then okay fine another thing. We are using manual machines. It's still difficult to apply the funds and all those things. So what I'm asking the minister, even if it can be like a mobile, a way that you can monitor us as cooperatives, we are trying, for the South African Youth Council are, we are submitting those great ideas, but they were given to other people. Those things, they are discouraged, and in the meantime, you are dying with your dreams and visions. They could have helped other people and sustain even the community of the economy of the country.
Thank you.
Tobela, thank you very much for this opportunity. Kalina kina Magabo wa Moremi ke tswa Blowback go village e bitswang Inveran. I'm from a company called BCF Chemicals and Cleaning Services. So we manufacture cleaning detergents. So there's few concerns or burning issues that we are faced with on day-to-day basis. On that note, ke tlo bolela godimo ga rena ka Blowback, re na le organization or a forum ya di entrepreneurs. So there's few challenges that we encounter as the entrepreneurs that I'm thinking, or a setja rena fela ka Blowback, le mo molemo le di masepala tše dingwe, they might be faced with the same problems. Problem ya rena ya mathomo, re feel the information is limited. It doesn't get to the relevant stakeholders or to the relevant people. So our entrepreneurs that we've been dealing with, some of them, if you ask them what is CEDA, they don't know what is CEDA. They don't know what is CIFA. They don't know the process that they need to follow in order to access the grants and the funding. So information aero go the villaging. Ki believe like the Roadshow, this one that we're having. So what I wanted to propose or what I wanted to suggest is that we shouldn't have roadshows only on national level or provincial level. We need such engagements even in our communities on time-to-time basis to enhance our knowledge. Sabobedi, sekifilang also it's a challenge. It's the distance between us and the departments or the people that we should be going to for assistance. Take for example, recently we were organizing a training for business management and financial planning courses. We had to travel to Polokwane NYDA offices in order for us to submit the application forms for everyone. So eventually they came back with the digital way of applying. Here comes another challenge. We have a problem with affordability of data. So our people don't afford data. So also this is the second suggestion or proposal, that if we have like business hub within our communities with Wi-Fi, it's accessible to the community. Not only is it going to assist the SMMEs, it's also going to contribute to future ya maborena. Bana ba borena ba ba dira matric or from grade 10, they can be able to utilize that to do their applications for varsity, bursaries, scholarships, NSFAS, you name them. So I feel our business hub at centers in most of our communities is what we really need the most, because it'll be center it'll tusha rena di SMMEs to access information. That means CEDA can leave application forms, we can have like your who's who engagements time and again, maybe monthly, and also our people will be able to search or to surf the internet because they won't have issues with purchasing data. So I feel a business hub, and also with our people coming to the ground force, introducing themselves, their processes, their requirements. That's what we need the most. Our people need information. We lack knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. I think these hands were enough. Can you give another round of applause? You see, that's what I'm talking about. When we, yeah, please move to the gentleman that is standing already while I'm talking. What we are saying is what we are here for. the suggestions, how do we work together? How do we bring the information? How do we work with the municipality to make sure that the information is disseminated in a right way that will reach the SMMEs? How do we make sure that we are visible, CEDA, CIFA, NYDA, all of us, via the local economic development office? That is the work that we need to make sure that we do. That is for me, I thank you for standing up and giving us that suggestion, because those are critical issues. Because if you don't have access to all these things, if we're talking, for example, your point, the previous questions were around people that, SMEs that want catering equipment, that want machine and so forth. But we've got a program called the Township and Rural Entrepreneurship Program that is focusing mainly on the townships and and the rural towns and the rural areas, making sure that the SMEs in those areas, they benefit. But I get a sense that that information is not known, and when someone stands up and say, I just want 3 machines, you can feel that, right? As a human being, you can see that actually they're not asking for a lot. But how do we make sure then that we come back with the municipality, CEDA officials, CIFA officials, NYDA, and we deal with these issues of making sure that the information is received by you on the ground, and that you are able to apply for these programs, because funds should not just sit there when you are here and you need these funds. So for us, it's important then our CEDA people are here, they will then organize that we do come back as CEDA and the other partners to make sure that this information is received. We are given the forms, we are taught, we are assisted how to fill in these forms, and we are able to apply for these programs, and we take those to CIFA and make sure that we are then able to get the funding that you need. My brother, I know you're tired now standing. It's up to you.
My name is Madiburo Madia from Madigana. No, I'm not tired, my brother. Actually, I had 3 questions. One of the questions she asked is about CEDA ability, accessibility towards us. So I'm not going to touch that one. The other one is not a question, it's more of a compliment. Last time you were here, you brought up some papers for startup. So for the likes of me, we benefited from those books. So I was hoping you'll bring more books, the one like this startup, so I can benefit again. Unfortunately, but what I'm saying is that I compliment you for what you are doing. I'm standing just to compliment and also asking for visibility, like she already said, because we are struggling like things like business planning, how you approach business, stuff like that. Because before the funds, we need to deal with that. I believe there are primary needs that we need to deal with. So if we can get accessibility, maybe you organize with Mule Mule or anyone, anywhere. Like she said, Business Hub, as she's from the other side of the district. We are in this district. You organize for us. I'm talking for my people now. As in Muhodi, it will be much better. So other than that, I just wanted to compliment what you're doing, which is good. But what I'm crying for, accessibility. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. All right, there's a hand. Can we, yeah, that's.
Good afternoon, sir. And good afternoon to everybody. My name is Elias from the company called Amen Arias. I appreciate to have this kind of a platform, which is very minimal. But for the mere fact that is here today, we find it extremely important that we can express ourselves in the business sector and the challenges that we come across. What I like to say is that South Africa is faced with a lot of challenges, ill health challenges, which 90% of our population, they are bothered by that. And a lot of those challenges.
Just please make sure that the sound is clear on this side. I'm just talking to the sound gentleman here. You can continue, apologize.
Is it clear now? All right. What I was trying to say is that my company's arm and arrears, it started in 2018. What have prompted me to start this company is because of the ill challenges that majority of our citizens encounter. I was one of those, especially the chronic ailments. I studied a product which is dealing extensively with the chronic ailments, which I was one of the people that have been affected by that phenomenon. Now, I did manage to get it to a level whereby it's got accepted, it's certified. I went to University of the North. I was given funds by International Monetary Fund. And the university also managed to pay the fees to accomplish the whole transaction. It's certified, it's clarified. But the biggest challenge is that we don't have the market. And secondly, we don't have access to equipment that can promote our businesses or make the population to be aware of those products. The other challenge that I'm faced with at the present moment is to have machineries which will give me the energy to produce more and the market whereby a lot of people will be able to know about it. I'd like to thank you for that. And thank you.
Linda, by sound. Huh? Yes, my brother, it's your turn. You are the last one on this row. Thank you very much.
Question I can to the Minister Corner. What's the turnaround time for fund the small businesses? And then Yabubedi Corner, finally a structure seloring. So how now to share about the small businesses to implement or present their ideas about to the business plan, because what also I learned last school, but I did an agriculture there and there, but I could be on black and white. So the Cavalin office where I can come out workshop the leader and to share to the business plan now. Yama Fele Renale Balawanchi, Arad Kolo, Challery, Hoyle Wima, a plagat piece job. So, part of business, Azangarabal exposure, Tomaga exposure, and Cabara company. Maraona, he knows how to install a decoder, Mara adds very momohod. So, if we go to the department, they can or fund maybe let's say 1 hour, no create an application. Yao Fama around Mohodel, the surrounding areas or the district Amadamon. And exposure, if one at Ulukisha, Kabakoloi, or the DSTV or what, I've registered on that app. If Nagalaka, get a problem like Gizar, I just request that person all around at the Gamona Alukisha, and at the end of the day, Arabala actually challenge. I follow a Galabala. So I get all into Sola Holloway Father.
Thank you very much. Can I just I'll just take the gentleman here and the gentleman here, those two. Thank you. There is keys here for a car. I won't say what the car is. If you've dropped your keys, please see me.
Motshwara marapo ke leboe sebaka se o mfileng sona. Nna ka sebaka se ke le Cardinal Dithalao ka Magatho. Ke bolele mantswe a hore nna I was registered. Le company ya ka e be bitswa hore ke Bukwidi. Le ka ba le bona hore ke tsofetse. I'm old enough in this present moment. Se ke se emetseng mo kunyo kono le bontsha fela le o reta tse di diwang hona bjale. Ke re mo lena ke re he ke lebeletse ke ya bona hore batho ba baswa ka mo ba bolela go bontsha hore ba phomeletse ba na le di-company tse le hore di functiona ka tsela e botse. Ke rata go bontsha hore bjale ka he ke le o moholo ke le kaka. Sepedi se re le rutang bana ditaola le seelo tšwa o tshwana le nna ke rata go le bontšha gore nna ditaola ke tloa le tšona di ya badimong ke na le tsebo e kgolo e tletseng ya go manufactura furniture. Most of you hona ka mo ba bantši ba lena ba ka ba ntseba gore ke bereka ka leplanka ke a le tseba mare ka bakeng sa go tlhoka thekgo ya gore o kgone o tšweletša le o ruta batho ba baswa ka seo se tsebang ke mphela thuto yela e namile e a hwelela bjale ka ge le mpona gore ke tšofetše ke dumela gore le bommeyara ba ka ba ba ntseba because ke bile carpentera ba e sa le educator ba se ba ka moo tša dipolotiki ba e sa le sekolong ba e sa ruta bontši bja batho ba ka ba tseba le bo sita mola ke tšwa gona ke tshwere certificate ke feditše ngwaka moka ke rutwa ka go manage small businesses but ke ile mowe ka aim ya gore ke tore o rutwa mafelelong ka fumana ke sponsoriwa ka kgona go tšweletša business tsebo yena ya ka pele but aowa mafelong a ngwaga o rile go fela hei ke no tswa ke tswa masulu ba re dololo le gona bjale ke rata gore ke ilo le thotholetša gore a e ska ba o taga lena mo a e ska ba o to tšea fela roll call la toa a e be se se bolelane mowe nke le se tšweletše le re ka mokgwane o le tshepisane bana ba rena ka gona le ba groome le ba supporte le ba sponsore gore ba tle ba kgone gore ba create mebereko ba seke ba tshwana le rena e reng ke a leboa e ke lo rata go leeletša gore rena ba bangwe re toa le ditalente re ya le tsona badimong ka bakeng sa gore re thokile di-sponsor ke a leboa.
Oh, he's going outside. Okay. No, it's fine then. You know, it's fine. You can leave him. So I've got a big challenge. So I was raised by a grandmother and a grandfather. Ne? So when an elderly person speaks, it just becomes difficult for me to stick to time. So you must not blame me for giving him a lot of time. It just comes from there. So I was told you went outside. So it's fine. I looked for you, but you were outside. So I'll just give you a minute because the other minute you took it while you were outside. Is it fine? Just 1 minute. Thank you.
Program Director, Erico Lebo, I just want to make an addition. They might also, Ahmad, the department must also champion in order to ensure that there is sustainability of these small businesses. Because the other challenge that we realize from a distance is the issue of the market linkage. The market linkage that we should connect this, the need of these respective businesses with the customers. So I think Kionadering is lacking because funding on its own without having issue market linkage. Particularly small businesses in terms of agriculture, farming. Majority of those who are producing their produce, it can be your tamati, your cabbage, or whatever. And then if you can find out where is the need live more on the suburbs. But transporter their produce to the market. I think it's it would also be empowering. Going forward, the department must come up with a response plan. It will also assist our people to be linked with the market. Because giving the people a lump sum of money, agriculture and the rest. So my proposal, let's find a way of ensuring, particularly with the Joburg city market, those who are producing, how do we contribute as a department to ensure that during Bakumana a linkage to the market? But the last one, the research base. Because most of the businesses are not responding to the needs due to the lack of research. So the officials from the department must also do much or more to ensuring they assist our people in terms of doing a research, so that during as and when a business is established, then it ever respond to a research. Because most of the businesses still they are established because funding is there, but they don't talk to the needs on the ground. So hence I'm appealing the officials from the department must do more to ensuring this elementary research will assist this small business or the moment they established and then the market law now available. So I'm just respecting that 1 minute chairperson, but it's very much important if you are building a sales funnel, Leona, we must also consider that also as a strategy, because business, as the government, raise a responsive strategy to help them, their business become sustainable. In the next 5 years, then we'll come here to be the witness of the collapsed businesses. Thank you.
There's someone who's claiming the keys, but they're not saying what kind of a car it is. So I'm not giving the keys until I get to know that. Thank you very much, colleagues and SMMEs. Some of the things all the things will be responded to. I think the big takeaway is that we need to be more visible. We need to work with the municipality. We need to bring CEDA, CIFA, NYDA to the community so that the community can access information. But I would leave everything. I think we've taken all your matters. We've gotten very good suggestions in terms of what is it that you want to see in this area. And the team has been taking those down. My job, therefore, is done here. And then so we'll get the minister to speak on most of the issues that you've raised, because that's what she's here for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, facilitator of the program. Gilochisa Mayara, Waruna, Speaker, Chief Whip, Councillor. You know, Tony, you shouldn't do that. And him, I greet him. But most importantly, I greet all small businesses that are here, the supporters of small businesses, and our beautiful officials and partners in the business of small business development. Hi, guys. How are you? You're so tired already. You're not? All right. Lebitso la ka ke Me Stella. Me, right? Stella. Tembisa. Mamodzi. Ndabeni Abrahams. If you don't want to call me Stella, it's okay. You can call me Tembisa. If you don't want to use Tembisa, you can go for Mamodzi. Anything. Right. Mamodzi Eyame. All right. Kitswaki Department of Small Business Development, as I was introduced, and Gitabile to be here. Khoshi Waruna, Mkaya wam, you standing on behalf of him. Mkaya wam loa. Wam tsiba mkaya. Nizofunda. All right, let me then respond to some of the matters that have been raised. And as I respond to those, firstly, I want to thank all of you, especially the small businesses that are here. You left your businesses, and I'm aware that you may have had a customer that would have spent 50 rands or 100 rands in your business by the time that you're here. We always say time is money for hustlers. So the fact that you forfeited that profit for this important session means a lot to us as the ANC government. So we don't take that for granted. We could have initiated Mayor to come here, but you would have opted to say, we're not gonna mobilize. We're going to be busy with our council issues because there's lots of work that you must do, but you also saw it important that you then organize the people that we have here. And we remain thankful because without these engagements, it means ourselves that are getting paid to ensure that small businesses are developed would be stealing the money that we get. As I listened here, many speakers are decrying the fact that there isn't much information that is coming to our people. And this is at the crux of our visit. To say gone are the days where we're gonna sit in Pretoria, in Centurion and everywhere else and develop programs looking in a computer or via email. But we need to interact directly nabanikazi bento. And you are the ones that make the wheel to turn. I know that many were not happy, even in our portfolio. Sifa would say, but these are not our clients. Why is the minister bringing us to these road shows and areas? But of course, understanding the different orientation, their school of thought, where they come from, and the school of thought that we subscribe to as the ANC government. A government of the people, by the people, for the people. And now, if we are getting paid to provide assistance, whether it's funding or business support to small businesses, how can we do it if we are sitting in Gauteng? And when we come to, reminds me of a scenario wherein I leave South Africa and I'll meet many people who say, we've been to South Africa. And when you ask where, they're like, Johannesburg. So South Africa has been reduced to Johannesburg. And I will tell them, oh, you have not seen South Africa. You've got to make sure that you go and see the beautiful scenery. Limpopo is known for great tourist attraction centers. If you go to the Eastern Cape, again, great history and beautiful scenery. You go to Mpumalanga, you go to Western Cape. So people shouldn't confine themselves to one area. As much as it's nice to be in a developed city, but our job requires us to go to where people are at. Or they're in Musina, or they're in another area, as small as it is, for as long vote for government. We have to service them. So we've heard your concerns. The first thing I would like to respond to in relation to the lack of information, CE, I think amongst those service access centers, we must open one here in Molemole. This we do because we don't want you to be traveling, paying lots of money to go and access CEDA offices and services very far. But you've got to do it here in Molemole, of course, working with the municipality. And that service access center will ensure that it brings the services of CIFA, CEDA, and the NYDA. Just like Mayor, we want to beef up the capability of the LED units in the municipalities, Speaker. Because this work that we do requires an LED office that understands how to grow the local economy. And the work that we do talks exactly to that. So we will be looking at ways of ensuring that we help partnering with different departments and to ensure that we can bring people who will have expertise to assist us in that context. I've had many of you, I'm happy first that I had people talking about being in the agricultural space, because this municipality is one of those areas that is centered around that service. Therefore, it always worries us, Mayor, when we go to an area and the locals are not involved in that economic driver. I've had others saying, Minister, we have 2 hectares of land, we're planting potatoes and we would like to create more jobs for others. And I've had other speakers talking about the access to market in terms of the work that they do. I've heard others saying, Minister, we're in the business of catering and decor, and all we need from you is support for equipment so that we can grow our businesses. And when our businesses grow, we're able to create many jobs. I've heard others who say, we are running CBOs, and these CBOs are targeting skills-based expertise for our young people. Because one of the challenges, Chief Whip, that we are faced with is that we have really forgotten on how to invest in the actual skills. And the economy is driven by skills. It's not driven by policymakers. Policymakers create an enabling environment. And those artisanry skills are what are driving the economy. Whether you're going to say they're in the agricultural space or in carpentry, in whatever other services, just like I've had the other gentleman that was requesting assistance towards opening an auto spares. And these are the skills that drive the economy. This is the industry we have not paid attention to because we got comfortable with the affirmative action that made all of us to want to wear suits and ties, heels and pencil skirts, occupy the offices. And the real money is not in the offices. The real money is out there when you want to build a home, whether you are employed or not, but you must have a home. That's why government builds houses for those that don't have home. But who is making the bricks? Because that is where money is. You want a home, but what is the contribution towards creating a job when you spend? When you go and buy blocks, when you go and buy doors, when you go and buy all the material that is just for your home, what jobs are you creating locally? The money that you spend. Once we instill that thinking that even if I'm unemployed, I get the Ramaphosa fund, I know that I'm gonna spend at least 50 rands that must be able to make a difference where I am. I know others, they go to the salon with it. I know others go to taverns, but I've also seen others that start businesses with that money, and then they come and say, Minister, because I did not get my money for 3 months, when I got it, it was 1,000 something. I've started an ice cream business. And I had thought for a longer time that those things are impractical until I followed another page. How many of you are on Facebook here? Everyone. All you do is to gossip about my cancelara, how they employ their girlfriends and their cousins and their children and the tenders that go to the same people and the ministers that sleep in hotels. All right? Now, I want you to use Facebook to empower yourself. There's many groups in Facebook that can help you change your economic status. I follow Tony, many groups that have to do with the business of small businesses. Across the groupings I came about on Facebook, there's a group that's called Ekasi Business. And I've gotten to see how people start with 500 friends starting businesses. How people say, you know what, we're in this town, our kids love movies, but we don't have a cinema, and they convert a garage. They put a screen like that one, they get chairs like these ones, and they charge kids 10 rands, especially on birthdays, because they have access to a decoder or internet, so they just download and charge people and make money. And these ideas I never thought about. If you're looking at a South Africa that is great in telling stories, who are the people that are throwing money in the film industry? And this is how filming starts. That as you put that screen, others get inspired to act. When we grew up, there was what was known as Bioscope. I don't know if you had it here. That's how Abu Chika Majika, they will go and search for talent and many other programs. And other people that are sporting those talents, they make money out of that. Let alone that we've reduced ourselves to just becoming actors and actresses. And there's money in the writing or telling of a story that is acted by the actor and the actress. So we shouldn't be looking at any other things that are happening in Joburg. You know my home girl, Zahara. Everything as she was growing up, as a young artist from Eastern Cape, her dream was to go to Gauteng, to Joburg, because she had seen the artists booming, getting support and everything there. Until we changed, when she came up with that song, that's when we said, as the governing party in the Eastern Cape, there's something wrong. That people don't think that they can develop their talents where they are, to an extent that they must migrate, leave the province, and go to Gauteng for them to have their dreams realized. This is the same thing that is happening in Limpopo. It's the same. I've seen most people laughing at Papa Penny in that show of his, and then they're laughing at his English. And I always tell them, wow, that's your only concern, as if that's his mother tongue. Papa Penny is making lots of money whilst you're busy giggling in your lunch. He's entertaining you and making lots of money. So how do we gossip? The gossip that must then be progressive and change our lifestyles. I had OCC that side saying, we're in the sewing business, we need equipment. How do we make sure that we let them subscribe to all the platforms that are there in order to market her business in the same Facebook that we laugh about the councillors and gossip about the councillors on, in the same WhatsApp that we spread all the fake news on. Sell them, but we support them. Because as much as we're talking about access to market, we shouldn't think market is other people. Market starts with us. The mall that is here in this town that sells you food is your market. The clothing stores that are there are your markets, but all we have to do is to come up with good local economic development strategies that say, hey, Mr. Investor or Miss Investor, we want you to come to our area. We're going to allow you to use this land, build a mall if it's a mall, or a factory, but you must know we have people who are planting potatoes. Therefore, they must supply your shop. You can come and open your KFC. I heard people of Limpopo love KFC so much. You can come and open your KFC, but we have women and young men who are involved in poultry. Therefore, let them be the ones that are supplying you with your chicken, because it's chicken that they sell at KFC. And then you bring all of those, including the lady that was saying they are manufacturing cleaning detergents, to say, we're going to open your mall, but you're going to buy or give space to these people. And that's how we develop the economy. Not to want everything to come outside. You heard me. Not everything. I didn't say things must not come from outside, because you're not going to have the capability of providing everything. But if you start with yourselves, just like Minister Mutsecha, when she said school uniform must no longer be monopolized. It's an opportunity for women and men who are in the sewing industry. How do we ensure that in our LED strategy that finds expression, that schools, Hoshi, through the school governing bodies, are going to say, we have young people that are unemployed here. If we don't have anyone who's into sewing, we can get them to be trained. Let them be provided with skills on sewing, let them be provided with skills on entrepreneurship, and then let the department help them get the equipment and material so that they can make uniform for your children and earn money and therefore help you out. So those that have been talking about the issue of equipment, especially the minor one, they're gonna go to the LED office, Mayor. They will register there for the support. We are committing Mayor for this municipality under the IMEDP. Yo, that's too much. What is it called, Sandra? Informal Micro Enterprise. Good. I told you they have lots of English. Informal Micro Enterprise Development Program. That is meant to help, at least as a startup with equipment that's worth 10,000 rands. We are looking at increasing it, Mayor. And then CIFA on the other side, they supply with 3,000 rands for stock. So jointly as the portfolio, that's 13,000 rands. I've seen, or I've handed over refrigerators, sewing machines, industrial. I see at least you can get some of those, including for those that are running hair salons and those that are in the different industries. But as much as we're able to offer you that, which is just a grant, I said we're committing 660 for this municipality. You're allowed to clap for that. Awwa. Sure. Then we have the township and rural enterprise program that is meant to help businesses in the townships. Ubudi there says he wants assistance to open an auto spares, and the township and rural enterprise program goes up to 1 million rands with a maximum of 100,000, that is a grant. It depends on the amount that you're applying for, but even if you go above 352, a million rands, the grant is 100,000 rands, which means what you pay back is 900,000 if you've been given a million rands to help you buy or open the store that you want to open. But at the same time, if you go to CEDA, they have the Technology Transfer Assistance Program, CE, right? And there they buy equipment of up to 1 million rands, right? 1.2 million rands. So if you miss it on the other side, you can wait for them to open for the applications and you submit your application. I did indicate to the entire portfolio, and this is not unlawful, this is not interference, but this is meant to address the imbalances and the injustices of the past as our constitution dictates, that we have to help the small towns, the small businesses in the small towns. So our priority is to look at those small businesses as we look at the different applications that are coming. So bias will be given to the rural towns once more, or rural provinces. I said that one is a grant, right? From CEDA. I'm giving all this information, although as you're on Facebook, you get it on Facebook, on some of our pages. If you miss it, we said now we're gonna hook you up with the CEDA office. But in the meantime, if you have access to internet, you can get it on our website. We're gonna try to enhance also communication utilizing the community radio stations. We have appointed provincial champions and district champions, and this is their responsibility. No. Sandra, when we go back, this is what we must emphasize. We are not going to have district champions that don't know what is happening in their districts that they are responsible for. It is not going to happen that we come to an area and they're like, we know nothing of SIVA and CEDA, whilst we have district champions. It's not a title or a status, but it's the action that has to be taken by those that are given the title. Or we get others that will live the title, live up to the title. CETA runs many skills development programs in partnership with different CETAs. I heard Udada, I wasn't sure what kind of support from the CBO are they looking for, as he did indicate that they're helping kids to use their hands. Again, I believe that's artisanry. I don't know if they're looking for equipment to help those kids or assistance to apply for funds, but as I said, there's different programs. Now, I heard another person who said, I'm a young person running this business. We have, for this financial year, set aside 690 million rands for small businesses that are owned by young people. Again, the bias is towards rural provinces. On top of that, Mayor, we've set aside 2 billion rands that must go as credit guarantee for small businesses that want to borrow money when they have arrived, you know, those industrialists that are getting bigger things, but they want to get money and they can't be given because they don't have. We have said each province is not gonna get less than 200 million rands towards that credit guarantee scheme. Again, if you are able to do your calculations properly, we have 9 provinces, and I did indicate that our monies so far have been going to Gauteng and Western Cape. We're gonna have priority and bias towards the rural provinces, which means for the rural provinces, it's gonna be above 210 million for those businesses. We have set aside for the program I spoke about of the Township and Rural Enterprise Program, we have set aside 950 million rands. But all these monies mean nothing if you are not going to apply for them. We will have to take them back to National Treasury, just like we did last financial year. We are a department that is entrusted with developing small businesses, and at the center of developing small businesses is to provide business development support and funding. Now, it can be correct that we have this little budget that we complain about, Mayor, but we can't even finish it. We have urged the officials to understand that theirs is not to just decline up funding proposals. Theirs is to say, we have set up the criteria. Tony, I heard you complaining about it. I haven't heard which part of the requirements you're complaining about, because we've removed all those ones that we feel like that they are impossible. But we have a responsibility to make sure that indeed there's a Tony that exists that runs business, because this is public money. We've got to make sure that there's evidence that Tony runs a business, there is a business, and it's running successfully, and indeed the money that we have put there as this is able to grow. And if the money we've given you is a loan, you have to pay it back. I don't want anyone calling me or WhatsApping me or tagging me on Facebook because SIFA is coming to take whatever that they are taking from you because you have not paid their money. There are rules in this constitutional democracy that we chose as South Africans. Government money is spent in line with certain regulations. And now if SIFA keeps on giving money to small businesses that is meant to be loan and they don't bring back, how are we going to assist other small businesses? The next thing, National Treasury will not give us money, and even the one that they generate, authority that governs them will withdraw the license. And when they withdraw the license, it means SIFA can no longer assist small businesses. So that's why I want to plead with you here. As much as you have not received that support yet, when you get it, you must know. We've tried to make sure that our schemes are blended or offer blended financing, which means the other component is a grant, the other one is a loan. This is meant to ensure that you can run up to 6 months, because even then, when we're giving you that blended financing, we will say probably you will start paying for a loan after 6 months or after a year, because we want the business to stabilize. Which links with what Udata said there, that we may be giving money to businesses, but if there's no alignment in terms of the needs and the challenges, we are wasting money. That is why we said it's very important that we get our products aligned to the LED strategies. Government is the first leg of market. So Dolop, it's the first leg. Although government contributes only 30% to the GDP and 70% is in the hands of the private sector. But we ought to see our government walking the talk when it says small businesses are critical in growing the economy and creating jobs. The people of this area must be able to provide services to a municipality. If you do not have confidence in them, Mayor, as your small businesses, who's going to have confidence in them? The same thing that happens to us. If we provide equipment to caterers in this area, and when we come here for a government program, we don't procure for them, who do we expect to use that equipment if we don't show confidence and give them access to the market, as we had confidence in their business plan? And as you look in your plate of food that you eat, I'm going to forgive you for lunch today. But for dinner, you should be asking yourself, where's the chicken that you're going to be eating, the rice and everything comes from? And what contribution have you made? That's the only way we'll be able to deliver, Tony, the economic freedom. Shouldn't be a rhetoric of a slogan. When we say we want to transform the economy, when we say we want to make sure that people share in the country's wealth, we mean that everybody must have a role. If you are not a small business, support a small business in order to help the cycle go around, and you will benefit. Because when you're supporting them, they'll be creating job opportunities. When they create job opportunities, they'll be paying rates to the municipality. The municipality will be able to build roads and access halls and everything else that is required. So we're all benefiting in the cycle. Tony, I saw your memorandum here. I don't know why did you wait for us to come here as psych to come and read us a referendum. We really do not take kindly, now this is to the DSBD portfolio, to these allegations that people come up with their ideas to their business plans and we take them for other people that we love. It doesn't give us a nice reputation. It really undermines everything that this government stands for, especially in this period of renewal. It requires us at all times to ensure that our people can have hope in us. As the people are given an opportunity to serve the people as public servants, we owe it to these people that they can see a future through the opportunity that we are given to serve as CIFA officials, as CEDA officials, as DSBD officials, as ministers, councillors, and everyone. But if people are gonna continue believing this, that we're nothing but a group of corrupt or a bunch of corrupt individuals, we're gonna see uprisings just like we've seen in eThekwini and KwaZulu-Natal. We really have to find a way of people having confidence in their government. So if it does happen, let the people report it. If it has happened to you, which is another thing, CEDA, CE, and Macingwana, where's Macingwana? He's outside. We've got to make sure that when people submit their business plans, probably they must sign an NDA with us, the non-disclosure agreement, so that you know that you've received it, you can't take it to another person, and therefore you'll be held liable. Unfortunately, I do not have the DG here to look at the issue of the MOU, Tony. We will follow up on that. As we have said, you guys must work on it, interact with the department, and then it comes to us. We must follow up on that. It's important that we have it. There's no one that is going to grow this economy outside young people. So it becomes a joint effort to say, how do you work together, irrespective of whatever t-shirt that you wear or slogan you chant. Young people remain the future of this country. And the future is built today, not tomorrow. So they have to be given opportunities today. As I indicated, we've tried to relax some of the funding requirements at CIFA. We've had lots of stories wherein people are saying we are asking for collateral or 10% when you apply for funding. There's no requirement like that at CIFA. There's no requirement like that at CEDA. There's no requirement like that in the NYDA. Anybody who says you must deposit before you get money, report that thug. Report the thug. Provide evidence so that we can deal and clean our government. Mentorship programs, we fully agree. And this is why we said now we are making it a requirement that if you're going to get assistance from us, you must be willing to undergo the business development support by CEDA if you're getting money from CIFA. It's a requirement. We provide pre-investment support and post-investment support. Because we've seen businesses crumbling after we've funded them, which tells that, I think it was a gentleman who raised that, you can give money, but if they don't know how to use it, then it's wasteful expenditure. Now, the best thing to do is to ensure that we follow our investment. Part of developing small businesses means that small businesses that we have supported must be able to grow. And when they grow, Speaker, because we're responsible for co-ops, micro, small, medium. When you become large, we transfer you to Minister Patel. We don't want problems of big businesses, right? But we want to develop you to go to that level. But as much as we do that, we do not want those that have grown to be medium to drop the status of being medium. We want sustainability. That is why we said we're going to look into the entire ecosystem of small business development. The legislative environment that we have committed to, as we had President Ramaphosa during his State of the Nation address, that we're going to review the Business Act. He has appointed a red taper, Mr. Ngosi, that must make sure that these cries that we are hearing, I'm in the farming industry, but I do not have access to land or this and that, or the rezoning costs are too expensive, and I'm a small-scale farmer, or I want to do ABCD. So those things are looked at. All we do is to identify them. As we engage here, we bring a report and say to Mr. Ngosi, you need Department of Agriculture on board, you need water and sanitation, you need all these departments that are affecting the work that we do. Because Tina Tony, as the small business development, our responsibility is to cut across all the sectors and fight for our share as small businesses. We don't care if you are in the nuclear industry, all we want is our share as small businesses. We don't care if you're in agriculture, but we want space for small businesses in that sector. And therefore, as people who are advocating for that, we've got to look at the law that is there. We've got to look at the support that we must provide, working with these departments, because we don't want them to say what they've been saying. When we are engaging those that are responsible for infrastructure rollout, they are saying we had given opportunities to small businesses in construction, but they don't finish the jobs. Once you pay them, they leave Mulemule to go and stay in Polokwane. They are upgrading, or they go to Joburg, finish the project. They don't invest in the business. So we said, we're going to take responsibility on that. We're going to enhance our business development support to small businesses so that we can challenge anyone who says, your small businesses are not providing quality. The second issue is the payment of small businesses. For now, government had said 30 days. But we are saying if it can be done in 14 days, let it be done in 14 days. We don't understand every government institution and private sector. They have beautiful ladies and some gentlemen that are working to pay. Their job is just to pay other people. But then they don't pay, but they get their salaries to them. Why are they getting salaries if they can't pay? Because their job is to pay others. But as much as we wanted to crucify them, as we made follow-ups on the departments that have not been paying, others provided evidence that, Minister, look at this. This person, we're looking at the purchase order that was 18,000 rands, but when one comes and invoice, they write 1,800. Those careless mistakes that we don't pay attention to. Others, they submit quotations and invoices with banking details, and their bank accounts are closed. Pay. Others have even changed their contact numbers. When the officials are making a follow-up, they can't get hold of the people who have submitted the invoice. So it's all those things that we are saying we really have to work together to improve on in order to make sure that we deal with the challenges that are crippling the development of small businesses. So we said we will walk the path with our small businesses. We are gonna engage other partners that will join hands with in helping us provide this different support towards small businesses. But we're not gonna know what kind of support you need as a small business until you reach out. Just like we understand that the cost towards compliance is so high. Before a municipality must give you a tender, You must have a tax clearance certificate. You must have a UIF whatever. You must have some certificate from labor. You must have a permit. You must have this and a bank account that is this and that, and all the English that they come up with. And I said earlier, to any hustler, time is money. Now, if you do not have a SARS here, it means you must take a taxi to Pulugwan to get a tax clearance certificate that has lapsed. Because now you can't get an opportunity because your tax clearance certificate, and they reject you. They say, no, she did not win a tender because the tax clearance certificate had lapsed. And when you go to the banks, ABSA, you go there, the account is closed. And they say, we can't give you because we don't have evidence of banking and whatever services that you ought to have. They want annual financial statements. I've had as requirements, other people are complaining about that. No, we're gonna need those, but we won't need them from startups. If you've been running a business, you can't not have annual financial statements. It's the right thing to do. You're in business. You ought to do that. So we're not going to change that. But for startups, we understand that they can't have that because they are only upcoming now. We're supporting them to grow, right? So please understand all these rules as you're going to be looking at opportunities that we'll be providing to you. We do realize that the fact that you've started a business does not mean that now you will know how to run your finances or your books in terms of making sure that accounting and all of that. So we said we are partnering with the Department of Higher Education, Science and Innovation to look at the unemployed graduates that we can therefore put against some SMMEs to provide certain professional skills. And when we do that, Mayor, we are addressing both the unemployment of unemployed graduates, but we're also helping professionalize the services and helping small businesses to be able to comply. You did not get money, most of you, last year when we issued the COVID Relief Fund. You also did not benefit through UIF because you are non-compliant. And we are saying we don't want you to miss out on those opportunities. That's why we are joining hands with others to come on board. But also, as much as I spoke about the equipment that we provide, Tony, which is something young people ought to invest in, transformation. We do offer stoves and whatever that caterers need, and some of those stoves, most of them is those 3-burner stoves. Of course, there are those that want the oven and all of that. But those things can be produced by our artisans. The chairs, the desks, tables that we buy, people in carpentry, the people that build your built-ins, can be able to provide that services. I have told the department that if we are serious about small business development, we're not going to be going to game and other shops to buy things that our people can produce. We've got to make sure that in Limpopo, there's a grouping that provides furniture on the things that we are saying we are supplying, so that when we say we're going to help 60 informal traders in this area, we know that it is sourced from Limpopo, those things that we can do at least. I heard Usisi saying I'm also involved in DECO. I'm also involved in events management. It pains me every time I go to Chinatown. You know, you go there, you see everything that is South African is being sold there. And lots of the people in the eventing business go there. And it's an opportunity on its own, Mayor, to say, how do we help our carpenters to build the chairs, the couches, and those that are in the upholstery industry to cover them and do everything. We've seen CEDA has assisted many of them. I don't know if we don't have others exhibiting outside, but they're not given opportunity to be in the shops. So we've said we're going to engage with all these stores. We are starting with at home. We've already made an appointment to say, we see that you are selling plates and couches, and we have small businesses that are providing this. Why can't you allow them to be here? But the trick Because last year and last of last year, we got excited when Clicks, Discam, and others, they agreed to place our products in their shelves. I said, I want that monitored. It's another thing to put a product in the shelf. It's another thing to ensure that the product is received by the person, which means it has been bought. And if you look at the value chain in the retail industry, which is something CEDA and CIFA and the department we've got to pay attention to, we've got to look at the supply and value chain components. Where do they place our products in these shelves? I asked because I've been seeing many of them saying, Minister, we're doing this, we're happy, CEDA assisted us, the department did this. And when I go to Clicks, I check my phone because I take pictures of these people that are saying we are making this product. I look at the pamphlet. You know, there's a brochure when you go to those shops. There will be a leaflet, and then they'll be marketing other products. Or they will send you an email. And I've never seen ours. That's why I said the next step is to follow up. Our products were put in the shelf, and then what? Because people now are complaining, Minister, we can't even afford to pay for that space. Apparently, after 6 months, if your product is not sellable, they remove it because you are occupying their space. So we're looking into the entire ecosystem, that we don't just bring them to these shops and then there's no income that is generated. This can only be done when you have confidence in the products that are locally produced. Every time you go to Clicks or wherever you buy Discam, wherever you buy your cosmetics, you don't look at the Dawn that is produced using, what's this popular plant of yours here in this province? What is it? Moringa. I've met so many young girls and boys who are making dons from that product from here. I use some of them because I always say, before I market them, I must see how they work. We don't want to market something that we have this as a small business, then it cracks your skin. So it's important for marketing to test the product. I don't see you guys buying those. All of you want whatever products that you are using. I'm looking at the ladies here, they're all beautiful. They have, now you can see I'm going to expose people that don't have masks. They have lipstick, red, and they have makeup, they have big hair, they have weaves, men have cuts. But who is supplying those products, ma'am? Who's supplying those? Or we want to take everything that comes from outside and use it. Even with the Ramaphosa Fund, we don't see the need to create jobs here. We want it to go out. How do we make sure that our money circulates? If we know that we love weaves, why don't we say, CEDA, can you look for partners that must help train our people in weave manufacturing, help us buy equipment, so that we can sell to all the beautiful ladies and them. I've seen now that they're also putting weaves. And that's the market. It doesn't matter if you're employed or unemployed. If you can't do it, the blessers do it for you. I've seen it. Everything that we're doing, Mayor, revolves around that local economic development strategy. If we are deliberate on that, including ensuring that we stop reducing small businesses to 30% business in the areas. It can be good that we have a budget of 100 million, I'm making an example, and we say 30 million is fine for our small businesses under this municipality. 70 million must leave. And these are the people that must vote for us. These are the people that must help us get the jobs as officials. There's something wrong with that. So we've got to make sure that we change the thinking and ensure that we understand the aspects of the revolution that we're engaged in. Those that came before us, they delivered political freedom. Our responsibility. But if we do not understand how to win that revolution, we're not going to achieve it. They went to school. Many of them studied law. You may not have paid attention to that. Many of them studied law because they saw that people were being excluded using the Constitution. So it was important for them to understand the legalities and be able to defend people on the human rights that they were deprived of, and they were representing the people. Even when they married strategically. They would look at nurses, they would look at social workers and teachers. And if you read the stories, whether you're going to talk about Mayor Charlotte Maxeke, how they imparted knowledge and skills across the people that they came with to instill knowledge. They knew that that revolution needed an ecosystem of particular components that must help deliver their intended results, which was political freedom. Now, if we are sitting here as the leadership of today, but we do not understand what drives economic freedom that we theorize about, we are not gonna achieve it. And we are populists. And populists we don't need. We need to understand how to deliver it. What is it that we need to invest in? And we ought to be deliberate, Mayor, not apologize. Yes, we'll be chastised, but we ought to say we have 50 houses that have to be built in this municipality, and unapologetically so, 40 of them will be built by people from this area. We're gonna say blocks are gonna come from this area. We're gonna say if we have quarries, let us make sure those quarries, at least there should be those that are owned by the people that are coming from this area. If we don't do that, we're going to be a province that takes pride that you have lots of mines, but you're not benefiting a cent. You can't even tell a difference between a diamond and a crystal. Because you sitting here, you listening to stories, you are not empowering yourself in terms of trying to understand what can I do. We love hearing so much. So how do we make sure that as we marry, get the rings and everything, we utilize the resources that are around us? And it's easy, Mayor, that us working together and bringing the minister responsible for mineral resources on board to say it can be correct, Minister, that we don't have small-scale miners in our areas. At least, let's make sure that there are people who come from these areas that can participate in the ecosystem so that they can produce concrete for those that are building the roads and then other components. Let me tell you, now the ball is in your court. We have done what we can do, hence we came here to engage with you. We've shared what we can share with you. But as they say, you can take your horse to the river, but you can't make it drink. Now, I think it was Mayor, or I can't remember if it was Chief Whip who said, by the time we come here again, we should be seeing results. We're not to apply for the services. You have to stand up. Where I come from, there's a saying, I don't know, okay, I'm Bondo. So don't take offense in whatever I'll be saying. It's my language, just like it's yours to speak whatever. Kuthiwa nyawo uyapha, mpundu uyavimba. Inyawo is feet. Kuthiwa uyapha, ukupha is to give. You've got to walk in order to go and get it or give it. Kuthiwa mpundu uyavimba, mpundu are bums. Because if you are seated there and not doing anything, you will not get anything. It's a saying in my village. So we grow up being told that you've got to go out there. Things won't come to you. You've got to look for them. As the saying says, uzayithola kanjani, uhlele koneni. Now we're leaving you in your corner. It is up to you to get out of it. And you come and we join hands. We would love to help small businesses that would have changed the economic outlook of this area. And as I say that, allow me to tell you that the ANC government loves you so much. Thank you, Program Director.
Matso. Challenge ke gore minister bare the opportunity di gona tšhelete e boela morao mara we doesn't apply for those opportunities. From today, let us go and try to apply for those funds. Monna mo ile a bolela a re, if Mahomet can't go to the mountain can't go to the Mahomet. This means you will have to go to the mountain or to local economic development to apply for those funds. Let us not fail to try. Let us try and fail, and someone will assist us. Let us clap hands for our minister. Ke a leboa, a ke nyako le senyetša nako ke kgale. Ke a kwa re most of you le na le energy, you want to start with those applications now. Ke le tia ka nako ke a bona. Before ke le senyetša nako ke kgopela re tšea sebaka se re kgopele our honorable Madam Speaker, Me Dikeledi Matlo, to come to the stage so that she can give us, or she can usher us with vote of thanks. Let us clap hands for her.
Mosepediši wa modiro e re ke leboge sebaka se o mphileng sona kgale botshele e re ke thomme ka go fetiša madume a ka go modudi o moso wa molemole ebile re tlo le fastene bomme Minister of Small Business Development Mr. Landabeni Abrahams, Honorable Mayor, His Worship Masilu Edward Paya, the first citizen of this municipality, representatives from Small Business Development Agency as well as Small Enterprise Development Finance Agency, representatives from our sister departments and the district present today, representatives from Manthata Traditional Authority, ibile the host ba itilwe pele ke kgoši go tswana ba bobedi, representatives from other traditional authorities present here today, the chief whip of this council, Councillor Rataha, who is also the program director, executive committee members present, wa roads and transport, bone le bo ESCO member, MMC, chairperson ya LEDP go blowback, bo Councillor Musina, chairpersons of section, Councillor Nagana, the chairperson of rules and ethics, ward councillors and PR councillors present here, officials of the municipality led by the acting municipal manager, our very own vibrant young leader, Bontate Tony Rachweni, Iling National Organizer from South African Youth Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Khotso. On behalf of Mulemule Municipality, I would like to take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to the Minister, Mr. Landabeni Abrahams, for once again coming to our shores to present the various products that can support our local business sector. I also extend my regards to the departmental entities, that is the Small Enterprise Development Finance Agency, which is SIFA, and Small Enterprise Development Agency, SIDA, and other partners for their contribution to these critical road shows. Our gratitude also goes to the local business sector and other key stakeholders who attended this road show. We hope that you will draw critical information and lessons which will use to advance your socio-economic status. We also want to pay tribute to the host department within our municipality, which is the LEDP section led by one of the vibrant senior manager, Manthata. All officials of the municipality who contributed to the success of this event are appreciated.
We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated team. Please keep it up. Honorable Minister, I'm told that from here, you will be hosting a dialogue in Polokwane this evening. Allow me to wish you and everyone who will grace the occasion nothing but a fruitful and successful session. Let us all drive safely as we head back to our various destinations after this session. Program Director, I thank you.
Okay. Really, Madam Speaker. Are you satisfied? Look of age. Better than the minister, Mr. Mr. Modisha, to hope a little for the announcement. Come on. Oh, Mr. Mashoja, announcements, please. Maybe Kakwana John. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about Lamaz, or maybe the announcement to Jawana di Kakwana Laren. Kwekanana la tabe Tamazo Fitalava feet.
Thanks, Program Director. Greetings to all. Kitomeka Hoshiarena, Pakam Shate, Kanamadume, and then Nikitlega Minister, and Mayara, all councillors, stakeholders Kamuka, SIFA, SIDA, CDM, and the rest. And most importantly, the Lena, Patrova, small business. As a compositor of Logica, we appreciate our Lohonofitam. Honorable Mayor, the only announcement that I'll be making for Erfejamo. Only Metiana or Ding Watamor Rat. Chelore Diveilwe for Watukamugarena. Then we recover Ashari Wakamontegamo, but one char Jalamakai. And again, as the minister has indicated, ka presentation of honor, let's calabala of Fetamuta Flingela Mola to get clarity or na apply on your going. Can I now read the requirements were relaxed for Chidunguja what is your fast so Molata Flingela Badul Tushaka or not register. Again, come on, take a more on a letente. Molo ringe the small business chakamole moleva showcase diloja bona je ba di diang so erkhumane na korno tsena ka motenteng ka mola bona le ba bangwe ba dia di juice ba bangwe ba dia di yogurt ba bangwe ke dikobo jalo le jalo then ka mo minister se